I want to thank Rabbi Yafi first. And welcome back in the name of the whole Lakewood. It's a pleasure to have you with us. You are sorely missed. That's Aleph. And Beis, I want to thank Torah anytime, Kavish Gecha Pratis, and Kala Loshin. Now, so you take your choice. What do you prefer? You prefer walking around telling people how humble you are? No, don't say that about me. It's not true. You have to be honest. I'm not a tzaddik. I know the truth. You want to do that? Go ahead. You're never going to get anybody to smile. If you go around like me and you call yourself, they laugh. So at least you got a smile. And by the way, what? Oh, that's a shear. That's right. So I recommend my approach. But do it gishmak. Don't be mispal. You know how much I daven that I should be funny? By me, they had to put in an extra tefillah because of the minim. So v'lam al shinim, there used to be Shmoyne Esrei brachas. Right? There used to be 18. It's still called Shmoyne Esrei. There's really 19. Because they had trouble with the minim. V'lam al shinim al tisikva was an Shmuel HaKatan added that because they had special problems, special situation. You need 19 brachas. Now, I can't be Masakin. I'm not Shmuel HaKatan. But if I could, I put a special one for Mandel's jokes, that the Yolim should appreciate my jokes. That's very important. I'm joking. Anyway, the jokes, it's taka important. All kidding aside, it's important, Rabbi said. Do you know how many people call me up again? I'm never finished with that. Don't be from. They look at me, what? Don't be from. Don't be from. I want to. Now be careful when you say that. But I'm not even sure they have to be so careful. So many problems for that reason. You're in a box. Don't make a wrong move. Now listen to this vod. Everyone's boxed in. Okay, listen to this. If you, years ago, when a guy went around saying, come today, come and boom, nechem.
There's no room.
I know. Oh, wait. I want say that at the microphone. One second.
Overflowing crowd.
Atazai. The last count, how many people are waiting over there? Now, I wanted there's a the Gavot. I just printed this in my Bטחון weekly this week. It's in every volume, the new one. There was a time when somebody said, I'm not right. I'm not really good enough. I have so much to work on. Halavai, I could become what I should be. There was a time when people who spoke like that was humility. That was beautiful. That's a sign of good nidas. That's an erlich hamensh. That's a decent person. Today, that, because you're still talking like that, might be the reason why you're so depressed. That's why you're having problems. Because your internal talk, you say it to someone else, it's a halbatzara. But you say it to yourself all day, I'm not right, and he's doing better. That's what's killing you. What used to be a geschmacka thing, that it was, this guy's humble, he's human, he's a mensch. He realizes he's not perfect. It's beautiful to be like that. Ich bin garnished, gesundheit. Today, you say you're garnished. I heard the Shem Sam Sefer, is that true? Check that he told somebody, you're big enough to say that you're nobody? Are you big enough? Is that Sam Sefer? Someone told me, I'm not sure who said it. That's what you do, that somebody once came into Kelm or Novhardok, and he kind of started saying, "It's been garnished, they've been garnished, they've been garnished, they've been garnished." And somebody walked over to him and he says, "You already garnished? Not so easy." I'm garnished right there. He walks right in. You're already holding in major leagues. To call yourself garnished, you got to be holding somewhere. So as the Chayvus Avavas openly. Before you start another, you got to have gaiva. You don't have gaiva, don't get near another. Watch it. Poison. Of course. Again, Don't get angry. Give in, not gonna kill you. Don't scream and give in. Okay, now you're fine. More than that, much more. The other stuff in Shara Kniya, be down the Kapschus. Remember, Yemamavis. That's also part of another. That's not bad. Yemamavis will cheer you up. If you want to cheer up, think of Yemamavis. You're not here forever. Couldn't be that bad. I'll tell you the way. I think it was Ramat told this to me years ago. He says, how do you hold on with all your nisyonos? I know it's not the only world. It makes life so much easier. We're not here forever, so you want to cheer up? Think of Yemamavis. That's the way to go. And that part of another, that won't kill anybody. I'll be down the cops' schools. Oh boy, is that big. See good everywhere. That's Shara Kniya. He says that. Anyway, now, and there's another shtickle in Shara Kniya. He says, this chassid said, I'm happy my Talmidim do Averis. If they wouldn't do Averis, they'd have worse problems. They'd have Gaiva, which is worse than all the Averis. Do you hear that? Wow. But anyway, the Gaiva that we're working on is not the Gaiva that you're going to burn in Gehenna for. This Gaiva you're going to go to Gan Eden for. What are you going to do with Vayibali B'dak Hashem? That's not Rishayim. It's not a Gemara. It's a pasuk in Tanakh. It's Melech Yehuda, Yeshafat Melech Yehuda. It says on him, Vayibali B'dak Hashem. No. What, you want another pasuk? Mizrael David, Shemeni Hashem ki chosid ani. How's that one? David HaMelech said that. You know what a chassid? That's more than a tzaddik. Look what he calls himself. There's a pasuk. No, you're not allowed to do that. Only David's allowed to. So many emergency situations, I recommend do it 24/7 and cool eye. Then maybe that'll get you up in the morning. Anyway, but here comes another thing. I want to say another thing. Now, the guy today, if you go around, if you're going to go around all day saying that you own the world and you're the best guy around and you got to brag about your accomplishments, I wouldn't do it to everybody. Leave the guy alone. He might be boring after a while. But even so, do it to your wife. Brag about how good things are happening in life. Your friends, and let him brag too, That will give you a long time ago, whoever did that was an arrogant Balgaivanik. All day he talks about his how great he is. He's a Balgaivanik. Today, the guy who's doing that might be the reason for his success. No, this is a true story. I knew a fellow who was, of course, you do things with seichel. That's you say this. Got a rabbi do things. Okay, anyway, I knew somebody used to brag about his son, and the other one used to be very low key about her son. The one who bragged about his son today is a gadol, no one bigger. The one who was like, when they're really not so good, he's still really not so good, going nowhere. You hear that? Yeah, I heard this years ago. And the brother of the guy whose father said we're really not so good was showing how we're the good guys because we're anivastic. And the other guy, he's like a big shot. The big shot is having such hatzlacha. I heard, I don't want to say his name, one of the Rosh Yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. I was together with him on a trip in Europe. We were going together, 200 people. It was a whole mindset. And he was talking about his wife. Oh boy. Mein Freund! Azat Tzadekis, he said it in public. She was nifta. Sie hat euch getan in ein Tag, was schreibt andere Wochen zu tun. Mein Freund! He never stopped with his wife. I was together with another American guy. He said, boy, he's really into his wife. Mein Freund! A Tzadekis, the Welt hat er nicht gesehen. He kept doing it. What's going on? Rather, he was from the Slobodka school. So, he felt good. He was a happy person. He was listic. He was productive. He was a famous name. He wasn't Stam a person. He was about Musa too. A tzaddik. Oh, was he sweet. I don't want to say his name. Was he a sweet? I once slept in his house. Was he special? English Shia. Simple, not a. He was murdered. Anyway, so now I'm going to tell you a story that's not Shia. The story is Neurais. First of all, when I was in Israel, someone knocks at my door, and he says, Mandel, knocks on the door, and here's a Yid with a Streimel. He says, Mandel, this is your Streimel, he tells me. I says, what do you want from me? It was in Yerushalayim at nighttime. I had an apartment there. He said, I called you up 6 months ago, a 50-year-old single bacha, never married before, and I asked a bracha for a shidduch. I says, Vada, you're becoming a chassan. When I heard that Vada, it made a rosham on me. And 2 months later, I met my 42-year-old wife. And the rest is history. This Streimel belongs to you, Mendel. And he was coming to me for kids. Now he wants kids. Part age 2. Now I heard a Misa. You see who? Now you know who I am. You have no idea how big I am, Rabbi Say. This you don't hear anywhere. No, never talks like this. This is what? I know. If you knew a little more about history, I'm not the first. But they were funny. There's a famous man who was Nifta. One of the famous Hasidic names. All the Rebbes were depressed because Reb Chaim, one of the biggest Hasidic, the Yida Kudish was Nifta, one of the big bombs of the Hasidic world, and they're all sitting there depressed, and they all mentioned that there's nobody here. Ups, one of the up and coming, also a big name. What do you mean there's nobody here? There's nobody left? What about me? And learning, I'm quite good. I would say I'm a gain, yes. And a tzaddik, for sure. And, a whole bunch of, and he started listing a whole list, you're the Shemayim. I'm so Gavaldi. It's not so terrible. You got me. It's a true story. As a Meister of Yosef Lake tells her, when one of the big doyle in the last door was Nifta, he said, they were all depressed. So he said like this, Kishem shein shir lamala, kach ein shir lamata. They said, we're taking over, us nobodies are taking over after him. Who are we? So he said, Kishem shein shir lamala. You can go big, you can get small too. So as bad as it is, the guys under us, they're still under us. So we're fine. Rabbi Yosef Leib tells us said that. Come and skip the line. Give the guy some more chairs over here. Anyway. So, what I want to tell you, L'chaim, Taivim, L'shalom. I want to thank the Rabbeinu Shalom from the bottom of my heart, how thankful I am. I promise you, Rabbi Say, I promise you, I'm going to say this in public. Wait till you hear this. I came to Eretz Yisrael. Before I came, Rav Pinchas Schaefer, he's the one that's Kavash Kelch Pratis. He told me, I met Tishpag, he's a great guy. Pinchas Schaefer told me, he organized that I should speak in Bnei Brak and Yerushalayim. And he told me on the phone, by the way, there's signs all over Israel that you're speaking. There were 4 speakers. They put me on top. They made sure to write Hagoyin Tzaddik. Make sure. They weren't so medactic with everybody, but me they were so scared of. Because when the first alone that came out, they wrote Harav Tzaddik, and I blew a gut. Where's Hagoyin? Yeah. And they throw in Hagoyin. It doesn't take much. Just throw it in there. Big spiel. The guy, he likes to be a guy. The next alone that came out, all they wrote was Harav Hagoyin. That's even worse. I'm a Goyin. I'm not a tzaddik. Yeah. So he wrote a Goyin tzaddik. So it could be the reason why I was the only one of the 4 names, chaship, famous people. Why I was the Goyin tzaddik because they know Nebuch. I need it. I hope people don't take me serious, but I don't mind. You want to put it in? I never made a machla on this. I say whenever people do that, you want to do it? I'm with you. I'm not going to be Marba Machlais B'Yisrael. What, you want me to fight with you? No. But these things I always give it. You want to call me? But I got an aliyah in Eretz Yisrael. And they called me up. Yamai Darab. I stopped everything. The guys are sitting there. Vosses for not going. It was Simchas Torah, I think it was. You're supposed to make jokes, you know. People love Simchas Torah. Was I going? Oh, yeah, you laughed. I go, no, Hatzadik. Oh, yeah. He said, no. What's next? Butzina Kadisha. Butzina Kadisha. Kol Rozli, honestly. Keep going. I says, listen, I give up on you. Play safe. Just say Bechula. That way we'll say it was okay. I did this in Israel in front of everybody. And I spoke in public a few times without being asked. I was asked about 4 years ago when I came to Israel. I spoke 5 times. 4 out of 5, no one asked me to speak. Right after davening, after a minute, don't keep them waiting. If they love my stuff, I'll tell you what I said. It's Kedai to hear. Beautiful. I was in Ur HaTzofen, and it's one of those shtibach is a sukkah. Rav Scheinber used to love davening with a minyan in a sukkah. It's good to know. And I was zeichet to be have 2 million. Right afterwards, right after Musaf, I think it was, they davened the mincha, so I got another one in the sukkah. What is chus? You got to remember this all year. Anything that went well, I danced a lot. Think about all year. Thank you, Abishter. Thank you. People are writing me questions. What do I do to remember, the good days? Reb Chatzko said, someone asked him, how do I hold on to whatever I was zeichet to on Yom Noraim? So Reb Chatzko said, who says you were zeichet to anything? Reb Chatzko, don't start up with him. That's what he said. Who says you were zeichet? That's not for us. I say, even if you felt you did nothing, then you were zeichet double, because you leave nishpa. And either way, you came out ahead. Ratzon Hashem these days, Rapapa Basra. Why do they say all the sons of Rapapa when you finish make a see him? I don't know. Does anybody know the reason? Rabbi Bapapa, Rabbi Bapapa, Rabbi. Mori Bapapa, you ever say when you make a see him? All Rapapa's kids are in there. What's going on? I just want to say, what's the real reason? I don't know. But I just want to say, Rapapa Basra. Abai and Rava were bigger. Rapapa came later. But we paskin like a papa, because he knew the later generation. So when you finish a Masechta, don't forget, go like the later ones as much you want to. Masechta is full of great things, but Shabbos, where are you holding, right? So I say, Unzer dar l'chaim baruch atah Adonai, Aliheinu malach ha'olam sha'akalim. L'chaim. Oh, important. Yeah, but it's going to spill over. It's going to be all over the place. Oh, you want to get so you'll be able to? Good. Nevada. When the Rebbe, every time you call me a Rebbe, I want money. I don't want to be called Stam Rebbe. What do I need that for? I'm expecting big bucks. Call me the Rebbe. You know what happened the last night I was in Yerushalayim? Yerushalmi gives me 300 cash. $300, not shkolim. He gave me 300. Yerushalmi! Guess why I go to Israel? For money. Mashiach's coming, and Americans flying to Israel to get money. And how did that happen? It's so interesting. He gave me $300. The guy, he's one of my Hasidim. I'm the only Rebbe with a Hasidim Avshtaimach, and I'm like, I barely have a hat. You should have seen my hat. It was the worst. I don't think anybody chopped what a... But the Evidika hat I took along, I says, who cares? I want to tell you, Rabbi say, I'm not kidding, that I have to thank Hashem all day. By the way, I spoke in Bnei Brak and Yerushalayim. I was told up front, you're going to be speaking. And I spoke for a full hour to get a big name, Kletzky's name, a big name. He might even be funnier than me. He's Gavaldi, he's a big name all over. And they're Pechel Schaefer, they're Schneebal, the sweetest people you ever met. They are peaches. I didn't want to be too much like myself. I would have eaten them all up. I have to watch myself. You want to hear a true story? I was drinking l'chaim, I think it was some Torah, and there was a Rav, a chashuv, a Rav, a big name. It was a packed house. We're eating. I took a little snaps, and punk, they all knew me, and they were making a spiel out of me. A lot of them. I'm not that, Ro Cholam Eretz Kishema, not, but that show was especially. And they asked me to speak. I says, "You asking me?" The Rav's asking me. I was concerned, And the Rav said, "No, I want you to speak." So I spoke. And but then I says, "I love the Rav. What could I do? I like him." I says, "I want to kiss the Rav." I said in Yiddish, you realize. So the Rav says, he smiled and he held out his hand. So I kissed him, but then I says, "I want to tell you the truth. I meant like this." I don't know how they took it. I don't know how they looking at me. There's a Meister Baruch Beh. You know the Meister Baruch Beh. Came to America. He looked just like a Rebbe. And the Chassidim looked at him. And this Chassid told, there's a Rebbe. He looked like a Rebbe. And so he walks over to him. And he kisses his hand. Baruch Beh was a real Litvak. What's this? He kisses him. What? Who? What's? Who? Litvak. Deruchap. Oh, you want a cushion? Come, let's go. And he started kissing him. He went to the Baruch Beh from Montreal. Learning, I'm schwach. You're Shemaim, I'm schwach. I'm Shishol. There I'm okay. Baruch Beh. Hey, look at the Baruch Beh. Anyway. So, where was I up to? So, I want to tell you something, right? It's a Musa Haskell. Do you imagine I spoke in Bnei Brak? A full house. 1,000 people were packed in there. After I decided it was 1,000, I said, maybe it was half as much as you thought it was. But, 500 ain't bad. 600, 700, probably something around there. But in my books, I already wrote down 1,000. Beshita, I always go, since your nature is to go put down, you got to go extreme, no, put up. And stay like that. I don't care what everyone says. I paskin 1,000. You know how many people quote me, tell me, Mendel, I heard there were 1,000 people. It was all. I says, where'd you hear that from? It's all from me. I start rumors, and boom, they work. I said it, and I get it back. Anyway, but it was packed, not stopped. And it came for brachas. The whole place was stopping. No Rebbe got covered like I do. And then they all picked me up on a chair. And then I says, okay, now I'm on the table. And I took off my jacket. That was a whole shaila. B'nai Brak. Before you did that, in Yerushalayim, I didn't repeat that one. I'm scared. In Israel, I check out my shtick with my rabbim. You know that? When I stand on chairs at Chasanis, I asked 4 Gedali, is this a right thing to do? They all hold 1,000,000%. I wish more people would do it. They're all scared. My Yom Rabrius. I'm an Avadi, I do it all the time. I'm going to the Chasanis tonight. You know what I did the other day? Someone took me. This is an Ashkacha Pratis. There's a Chasan, a good friend of mine. He loves me a lot. I love him too. But I don't run to Chasanis. Leave me alone. Or else I'm going to be busy. So this one, I says, because I have so much to learn, so much to do. So he tells me, so this one, lately I'm getting phone calls, every 2, nobody leaves messages. When I'm home, rings non-stop, one after another, boom, boom, boom. And I'm sitting there, and I was hoping, I paskin finally, I'm going to the chasana. I have to go to the cheder now. I'm going. But I don't want to drive there. It makes me crazy at nighttime. I need a ride. The next guy who called offered to, he took me there. And I says, watch this. Watch this. You don't have to park your car. I'm going in and out. Watch this. I went to the cheder. I walked in. First time a spal. I don't have time to sit with a chasana. I walked in. I told him up front, watch, I'm going to be on the chair. That's exactly what I did. On the clock, I must have been there 3 minutes. 5 by far the most. I was on the chair in the middle. dancing with the father is one I know. I don't know the chassan. I'm not from that island. I met him, we kissed and we hugged, and then I took him around 10 times until he felt, Mendel, I think we got to get someone else to give him a chance. So at that point, I felt he saw me. In fact, he's ready to say, what does it say? Don't get carried away. So I was back 3 minutes in the car. It's done. And these guys will dance all night, and he won't even know if they came or not. And I always get into the pictures. I'm a spal for everything. I always get there on time. I get there in the middle, and I dance, and I'm on a chair. No one's going to forget my chair. That's it. So I give advice. But it must meet them like me. You want to sit and learn a little bit, and you want to tense, go, but get there and get lost. Unless you want to, there's nothing wrong with hanging around and having a geschmack and schmoozing. It's not the end of the world. Depends. Every case is different. Yeah. The story is, I had to work on myself, on being thankful. It's a constant, you don't know how the person is. I promise you, everybody say, I was in my Eina Klacho looking. Look at Zaidi, he's on top of the world. And people, oh, that's your Zaidi. I became a Gatsa, who knows what. And this Eina called, the other Eina called, my son was there. And Zaidi, and also proud of Zaidi. And very nice, no? And I'm proud of all the Yerushalayim Yidden. And what they say, oh, Mendel, this is Mendel, yeah, Mendel there. Bracha, and the brachas are after me all over the place. By the way, this Kletsky, he's a David Kletsky, he's a tzaddik, he's a sweetie. He's a big name. He's like a shtickle maggid. I'm not sure what he does, but he's a big name. So he talked after me. So every word, he's funny. I spoke my hour. After I spoke, he spoke. 3/4 of his speech was, and like Mendel had just told us a minute ago, he was quoting me. I don't even know what he was talking about, but he kept repeating my name. I'm the only person that's Chazal is a shtickle kasha. I read the fachar covered by rachas. I run and boy do I get it. Even though I finished my speech, even though I finished my speech, he made sure to give agoyis on my speech. Come inside, make yourself at home. Now I'm going to tell you something. I had my ball. I believe in enjoying covet. I tell you, Rabbi Miller told my brother he was offered a job with a lot of covet. And he says, it's going to be a covet. What should I do? Enjoy it. The Chovos HaLevavos says, it's okay to get covet. Running after it is the problem. It's okay, you got covet. So, you're so kvetchy, you get covet that's also no good. As long as you're not kvetching, it's fine. Listen to this. So I got my covet, I really had a great time. The last night I had to go to hospital. Masukin here, Masukin there, the worst cases, they come to Mendel. After the doctor said, it's over, there's no hope, then they call Mendel. And you know who I am. You have no musik how big I am. They come to me after years. Then they come start with me. Okay, now. So Mela, I didn't go nowhere. Not to the Kaisel, nowhere. The last night I was there, 3 Yerushalmis got a hold of me. And they said, Shreimel, that Mendel, the Williamsburgers, Breslovers, the great guys. Mendel, you saved my life, his life. Okay. We'd like you to come to the house. I'm not a social lamachab. I could do it here and there, but you know what? I'm not unschuldig. Come to the house. Now you want to sit there, you're going to bring in your Rebbetzin and the Kinderlach. Lamachab. So there's a Mordechai Maisa. I'm in the middle of standing there. The guy was davening, I didn't chap, and suddenly this temple goes snap. When this temple snaps, it's over. I go around, just forget it. and he's noticed it. Oh, your temple snapped. You want me to fix it? I says, all right, come to my house. I came to his house. He was a mumcha. I don't know how he did it. He's a satmar. The satmars are known to be very galungan. You know that? Ask anybody. They can do anything. They have a bracha. I don't know where it's coming from. Anyway, he fixed it. And then we weren't finished. In one night, I got the kaisel. He asked me, you want to go to Kevish Bolanovi? Sure, 7 minutes from here. 7, we're going. And then you want to go to Kevarachel? Boom. And I hopped all 3 in one night, the last night before I left the next morning. My day. I want to tell you, Shmuel HaNavi himself knows I was there. And he appreciates me. Because I am very close to Shmuel HaNavi. I really am. And Chana, it's a schooler. Learned the Bahi Yishachod, Mira Masayim Tzayfim, Miyad Ephraim, Ushmayel Kona, and Rosh Hashanah, that's the Torah Chana was Nifkeda. On Rosh Hashanah, read that, it's a schooler. Read that, a beautiful Hatzigav Torah, the way Penina was Mavazaha, and the way she ended up, the Welt doesn't chap. She had double Bezyanas. First Penina, Hatzara, and she wasn't finished. Eli Akain, you're a shikaita. Will you stop drinking? Take a look, he's a psukim. She says, no, I'm not a shikaita. The way she defended herself, I had this once with one of my Rabbim, more than once. I defended myself, and the Rebbe apologized, I mean, there's a muck. Okay, don't get carried away here. I don't usually do that. But she defended herself. I am not a shikaita. You don't have Ruach HaKodesh. Chazal. They touch at the psukim. I'm a chash of a lady. I'm a tzabracha of a lady, she said. He said, I give a bracha. 9 months later, she had a Shmuel. But first, before Shmuel comes, you get the Zenas. You get a Penina, you get she's chash of a. Now you're ready for good stuff. Isn't that something? And I had the The Adam doesn't chap. Before I was in Bnei Brak, come inside, let's go. Make way, wait, let's push this back. I'm an Elam waiting. I want all those 500 people in here. Every one of them. Let's go. Kiptzara, make yourself comfortable. I don't weigh that much. There's room, you can always push me back. And besides, I'm on a diet. Now you can get to me. Yeah, I know. It's growing. So, anyway. So what was I saying? Where am I up to now? Let's go. Now, I couldn't sleep all night because I was supposed to speak in Bnei Brak. And they told me, no jokes in Bnei Brak. I can't make jokes. I'm out of business. What am I going to talk about? And they scared the daylights out of me. Bnei Brak. Bnei Brak? Watch what you're doing. I was talking scared. I don't get scared so fast, but they really had me. And what am I going to say? And what do you say if there's no jokes allowed? What are you supposed to say? I spent hours, I hope, that I was zoiche to everything and anything that night that I was worried. It killed my Yom Tov, you realize. You got to speak, but I have hundreds of pairs. Yeah, it scares you. I'm not used to this. So I gave away my Yom Tov to be Mazakis Harabim. You know what that is? I was Mavaza to Suffolk Bizyanis. You know that. Is good. I said it in front of everybody. I told them openly, you guys really scared me. I'm scared of you guys. Am I making a wrong move? Did I say this wrong or that wrong? I'm an open book. I let them know exactly how I feel. They had places on the floor. This they never heard. Open books they don't see. They see closed books. The guy's scared stiff. What should I say? I'm really not Roy. That way. But he feels, that covers me. I said I'm not Roy, so whatever happened. The guy said, I'm really not Roy. The guy jumps up in the crowd. We all agree. Please sit down. You're not Roy. Anyway, but I hold that I have a big tick in kapara. But besides, it went smooth. And I learned a lot of Musa, not to be afraid of anybody. I learned a lot of Musa. I recommend you do that. Don't be afraid of people. Who cares what they think? So you get Bizyanis. So So what? You lost all your sins with Bizyayin. Don't be a Meshugana. But go for it. Zika Rabim. And Yerushalayim, I already wasn't scared anymore. It was great. Now I'm writing down all the good things Hashem's doing for me. Do you know? I mamish forgot. You entertain a whole packed house in Yerushalayim and Bnei Brak. And I've totally, it's a week, 2 weeks later, it's like it didn't happen. Yeah. Had some Zikr Rabim. Why did you get excited? It's so hard not to be thankful. It's crazy. I promise you, it went over. You think, oh, this guy must be happy, finally. Yeah, I was happy, but the thrill of kvetching, nothing comes to that. You can't replace the thrill of kvetching. I had this problem. Ruchnius. Now I'm really entitled to kvetch. It's Ruchnius. It's her love. Kvetcherai. Listen to this story. Haflo of a fella. 31-year-old Bacha calls me up. Rabbi Mendel, I called you up a month ago. I can't do a shidduch. I'm going to sugar. I'm davening. He's a frum guy, a great guy. He's davening his head off. I says, okay, I'm giving you so what should I do? I says, do like this. Stop asking. No more. Take a break. For 1 month, 30 days. Thank your head off. Whenever you want to ask for anything, change it. Thank you. Instead, say a thank you. He called me back 30 days later. He told me he has been looking for a shit into a certain very, 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 very chashuv shidduch for years. And he has been given, you know what loy mitan aleph means? What does that mean? We slam the door in your face. Don't even stand. He was told, you don't stand a chance, don't get near us. Not the father, not the mother, not the girl, not the nobody. It's over. You don't stand a chance. That shidduch suddenly said yes. And he had 3 dates with that girl. Then he says, not only did it accomplish for a change, I'm davening for years. He's 30, the poor guy. But I enjoyed thanking all day. It was fun. I said, but never ask for anything. Just thank. Don't ask. Once you ask, you blew it. You're kvetching already. So the guy, Kip Tzara, let's go. Bring him in. Move over, Rabbi Say. Push a little more. Okay, now, come in, Chabra. Any room over here? No. Okay. Now I want to say something. Now he asked me, what do I do the next month? He asked me, should I daven? So I say, you don't notice that by you thanking goes much further than asking? You didn't ask for a thing all month. All you did was thank for everything and anything. And boom, what took years, you're getting it. Do you see, is it worth asking anymore? Stop asking, take another month. And watch what happens. I guarantee you're a chassan. Keep asking. Now I want to tell you something. What is the Yebishter doing? This is a murdik maisa. It's a murdik maisa. I recommend Rabbi Isai. The Beger Rebbe said, make it 60-40. Am I right? Something like that. He said 60% thanking, 40% asking. Mandel says, Rapapa, I'm Rapapa. Rapapa Basra, I say for our door, just ask, just thank, and forget about asking. I'm just showing you statistics. There's a famous story, it was written up all over. This family had 3 older singles, and the whole family thanked for 2 months straight. They all got married. In the 30s and the late 20s, they all got married because they were thanking. Well, thanking doesn't count. want to say hello. This person, now I'm supposed to start with questions. Are there any questions? Hey, this is good.